So, well, very good morning, guys. Okay. Okay. Well, so fine, guys. So last day we've just been talking about yeah yeah we've just been talking about authenticate and anonymous attributes, right? And this process actually we are discussing about Windows authentication. Yeah, we have just been applied of the Windows authentication in the code. Okay, we just applied the Windows authentication in the code. So we just use the Windows authentication in the code, and yeah, like if you see where we stopped it, we just been stopped it here, like how to manage multiple users, because last class we discussed like, yeah, you can apply it action method level, we can apply controller level, both the two options I shown you. And if at all you want to apply controller level, what did I say? For what methods you want to give free access, just put allow anonymous on the top of the method. For what methods you wanted to give free access, put allow anonymous on the top of the method. Understood? So when you just use allow anonymous on the top of the method, then automatically, but never use allow anonymous on the top of the controller class. Last class I practically showed you. If you use that, authenticate, authorize will not work. It will apply allow anonymous to all the action methods. So don't do that mistake. That is what I said here. What is the solution? Don't use anything. By default, it is allow anonymous only. Whatever methods you want to authorize, you can authorize. So the problem where we stopped it is, yeah, we have two managers, manager 1, manager 2, and 6 staff here. Okay, like staff 1, staff 2, staff 3, like this we have. A small correction, all of you. Small correction. Nothing. Actually, in your notes, who have the notes? I will update on online. Who have the notes? You just see this here. Now go to manager controller class and use authorize attribute on index action method is what typed there. Just check it out. Yes or not? Not index here. It is home action method. Two places. First one and the second one also. It is printed as index action method, I believe. Right? Make it as home action method. Got it? Both the two places, home action method. And here also, public action result printed as index, I think, right? Make it as home. And in the second, it was only authorized. This line is missing, I remember that. Correct? This line is missing. Write that also. Public action result home. In the second one, authorized is present, but this is missing. Anyway, I'll update it on the online. But who have the notes, just correct it. But the rest I'll update it online. Okay, no worries. And below, applying authorized filter controller level. Applying authorized filter controller level. In that, not a big change. Second one, public class staff controller colon controller. I think there are only 4 users listed there. Correct? So totally 6 users. You add that. That's not a big deal. I think staff 1, staff 2, staff 3, staff 4 are only listed there. Okay. Add staff 5 and staff 6 also, because 6 users are what we have taken up there. Studio is updating, guys. Yeah, done. Okay, done. Okay, now. Yeah. So fine. So today, what I just wanted to explain you is about, guys, how do we manage when we have multiple users? How do we manage when we have multiple users? Say 2 managers are there, 6 staff accounts are there. Every time coming and writing those names on the top of the control is complicated here, because after launching the application, new users can be added. Chance is there. Agree with me? New users can be added. There is a chance of adding up new user accounts there. So at the time, how this can be managed means, without managing application side, this can be managed on the OS side. Without managing application side, this can be managed in the OS side. How? Say, last class, I shown you how to create user accounts. To create user accounts, I opened computer management, right? Computer management. And the computer management, create the appropriate user accounts. Sorry, I shown you creating 2 user accounts, but I just given in the notes 2 manager accounts and 2. Give your own passwords here. Give your own passwords and just list out what passwords are you using there, but just use that. Okay. In this, actual our assumption, Raju is a manager, Venkat is a staff member. Correct? So basically, you have 2 manager accounts and 6 staff members there. So the 2 managers should be given access to manager controller, and the 6 staff members should be given to staff controller. Tomorrow, if a new staff member comes, I cannot make changes in the CS. I cannot make changes in the CS, and you can make the change directly in the OS. How? Below this, can you see you have groups? What is a group? A group is a collection of users. A group is a collection of users with a set of permissions. Did you understand? A group is a collection of users with a set of permissions. Now, let's go to Raju user account, double click on it, and see here, you'll be finding an option here, member of. If you click on the member of, see, is a member of users group. Is a member of users group. And this users group is present here, see. Users are prevented from making accidental or intentional system-wide changes. Means you have permissions, but you cannot make any system-wide changes. And logging as Raju, I cannot go performing any installations or anything. These type of things cannot be done. Are you clear? Okay, but you come to here admin, guys, admin. If you go to the properties of admin, is a member of administrators group, is a member of administrators group, or RDBA group, performance log users group, is a member of multiple groups here. And every group has a different set of permissions. Every group has a different set of permissions and users. So if you go to groups here, what is that group here? Administrator group, right? See, Administrators have complete and unrestricted access to the computer. It has a complete and unrestricted access to the computer basically. They have a complete unrestricted access to the computer. What they can do? They can do anything. They can do anything. See, logging as admin, I can do anything what I want because I have an unrestricted access. That's when you're putting the studio, it'll say run as administrator. When you run as administrator, you can do whatever you just want. So like this, guys, we have groups here. So what you can do, to manage, to overcome your particular problem, how many managers are there? 2. There is a chance tomorrow an existing manager can leave the job and new managers can come. Same way, existing staff members can leave the job and new staff members can come. Today, the company is a startup with 6 staff members. Going forward, 100, 200 members will come now. Yes or not? Everyone, I cannot go and specify on the top of the controller. That becomes complicated. Who will do that? Developer will not be available now. But to manage the network, there will be a system administrator in every organization. When you have a network, to manage the network, there will be a system administrator in every organization. So we can do, administrator can do this. What you can do? Watch this, guys. Go to the groups now, and you can create a group here. How to create a group? Right click, new group. So it will open a window. Tell the group name. I'm going to create a group called as a manager group. I'm going to create a group as a manager group. Description. Members in this group are managers. Members in this group are managers. So now, what you'll do here, you'll find the add button. Click on the add button. And whom you want to add, specify the name here. I want to add Raju as a manager. For you, manager 1, manager 2. So manager 1, manager 2, add in the group. Raju. And afterwards, click on the check names. So if you click on the check names, it will verify whether this name is correct or not. When you click on the check names, it will turn as server/Raju. If it turns means, yes, it is right. I'm writing some XYZ. Check names. It is not existing. That's why it is telling, shall I create a new user account? Are you clear? So just type the name there. So Raju. Just click on check names and click on OK. See now, added. Again, you can click on add one more user. So what you will do now? Manager 1, manager 2, add to this group now. And click on create. Same way, another group now. What is that? Staff group. Okay, description. Members in this group are staff. Members in this group are staff. So come here, click on add button. What is the name, guys? Venkat. Click check names, click OK. Now what you'll do is staff 1, staff 2, staff 3, staff 4, staff 5, staff 6. Add all the people to this group now. Click on the create button. Now see 2 groups are created, see? Staff group, manager group. Okay. Now what you'll do, come to your application, and in the application, go to the manager controller. Yeah, go to the manager controller. Here, without writing users is equals to, what you do, roles is equals to. There is another thing called roles is equals to. What is the role name? Specify here. Manager group. So now when you write this, no need to make any changes in the future now. Why? Everything will be modified on the server level. You modify in the server level. A new user comes, add into the group now. Which group you want? Automatically permissions will be given. Manager group. Come to staff here. Change now. What? Roles is equals to, what is the name, guys? Staff group. Staff group. So all the staff members will have access to this now. Okay, come on, run the home controller and observe. Oh, just a second, guys. We opened it in a non-administrator mode. Let's open in the administrator mode. Yeah. Yeah, observe this. So when I click on the manager homepage asking for it, so who comes under the manager group now? Raju. Suresh is not under manager group, right? Suresh 654321 and just click on the OK. Not giving access. So Raju 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it. See now, all of you, watch this. Now come here. What you'll do now, let me create a new user account. Let me create a new user account, all of you. Just watch. Let me go to users. We'll create a new user account. New user. I will name it as manager 2 something. Manager 2. Full name is also manager 2. Something description. This is a new user account. This is a new user account. Password I'm just giving 456789. 456789. 456789. I'm doing all the things and create. Okay. So created one more user account. What is the name? Manager 1. Same way, I just wanted to create a staff 2. One more account, staff 2. Full name, staff 2. This is a new user account. 987654. 987654. Some password. Okay, how many user accounts are created? 2 user accounts. One manager, one staff. Now I created. Okay, now go to groups. Now go to groups. Go to managers group. Click on add button. Whom should I add? Manager 2. Check names. Okay. Manager is added here. Now go to staff group. Add. Staff 2. Check names. Okay. Not ads. Click on apply. Okay. Done. Now come to your application, guys. Going forward, what I'm doing, no need to do any changes in the application level. Everything will be done in the admin level. Okay. Staff homepage. Staff 2, right? 987654. Okay. If the changes did not reflect immediately, will reflect here. If they don't reflect, restart your system. Sometimes the changes may not be applied. Restart your. No need. It'll apply off. See, it applied. If anytime you face any problem like that, just only thing is reboot your system. Okay. So am I clear? Understood the process? So if I do like this, there is no point of again making any changes in the application level. All the changes can be done only in the OS level. So we call that as role-based authentication. That's what I explained you now. Clearer? Role-based authentication. So you can just create the user groups and you can just go for creating the role-based authentication here and that will work for you. And what to do? Just on the top of your controller, write authorize roles is equals to, not user is equals to. What is that? Roles is equals to manager, staff. Okay, now? Yeah. It's all about this one. Okay. The next thing what we are going to learn right now is, we learned about all the existing controllers here. How many? All the existing filters, 7 filters. Total 7 filters I explained you. What are the 7? Child action only, output cache, validate input, validate anti-forgery, Validate anti-forgery token. Fifth one. Louder, yaar. Handle error. Sixth one. Authorize. Seventh one. Allow anonymous. Totally 7 different filters, and we learned about this one. And in this, if you see, like authorize and allow anonymous comes under authorization filter. Correct? Child action only comes under action filter. It comes under action filter. Okay. Cache, output cache comes under result filter. Comes under result filter. Handle error comes under exception filter. Means you saw an example on each filter now. You saw authorize filter, you saw action filter, you saw result filter, as well as you saw exception filter also. What we did not see is authenticate filter. What we did not see is the authenticate filter. Actually, authenticate filter is not available by default. Authenticate filter is not available. I mean, there is no authentication filter available. There is no authentication filter available. Are you clear? Okay. So today, what I'm going to teach you is, I'm going to teach you a concept called custom filter. What is custom filter? Custom filter in the sense, what version of the Windows is present, central control will be on the server. It is a central control on the server. Because it is central control on the server, that doesn't give you any compatibility issues. You won't face any compatibility issues. Okay. Custom filters. What are custom filters? Custom filters means, array, we used existing filters. We can create our own filters here. We can also create our own filters. We can create our own filters also here. And if at all you try to create a filter on your own, that's what we call as a custom filter. Is my point clear? If you create a filter on your own, that is what we call as a custom filter. We call that as a custom filter. Okay. So basically I am going to show you 2 things here. What are the 2 things? One, the first thing what I just wanted to demonstrate is, okay guys, 2 things what I just wanted to demonstrate here. One, how to create your own filters, custom filter. 2, second one what I want to demonstrate to you is, in this process, means using a custom filter, let us create a authentication filter. What did I say? Authentication filters are not available. We need to define them. How to define? You need to define it as a custom filter. So both the 2 things I'm showing you now. What is it? How to create our own filters. In this process, what filter I'm going to show you? Authentication filter, because all the existing 7 filters comes under authorization filter, action filter, result filter, and exception filter. But there is no authentication filter available. Authentication filter should be defined by you. Okay, how to define? To define that, we have a concept called as custom filters. We can use the concept of custom filters, and you can define the authentication filters. Okay. See, in MVC, filters are used to inject logic at different levels of request processing. That's what I said here. You are inducing some logic in the different places now, and allow us to share logic across controller and action methods. We are provided with various filters in MVC, which we have used above. And apart from that, we can also create our own filters to implement logic at various levels. And we call them as custom filters. We can write filters for various reasons, like logging or for saving data to a database before any action executes, or we could also create a filter for fetching data from the database and setting them as global values of your application. Lot of requirements here. We can use filters in different places. Actually, there is a, I want to write one filter now. What is the filter? Before the execution of every action method, I wanted to write in a log file. What? Execution of so-and-so action method in so-and-so controller started. In the end of that action method, I want to write in the log file again. What is it? Execution of so-and-so action method in so-and-so controller finished. For every time I want to write it, I can create a filter now and I can just apply it now. So that filter will do. Whenever there is an error, the error details I want to write in a log file. I can get a filter, and whenever there is an error, automatically I can write into the log file. So these are what we call as custom filters. But how to implement? Very simple here. If at all you want to implement a filter, to perform a logging, and this logging should be done before an action method, after an action method. Are you clear? Okay. The process is very simple. The first step is you need to define your own class. Every filter is a class. You need to define your own class, inheriting from a predefined class called as filter attribute. What is the class name? Filter attribute. What type of filter you want to apply is secondary. But first thing is, to define a filter, you require to inherit from a class called filter attribute. Recollect, to define an exception, we require to inherit from any predefined class called exception now. Same way here, what is the class we should inherit from? Filter attribute. Once you inherit, automatically your class becomes a filter now. Second step is, what type of filter you want to implement? Authentication filter, authorization filter, action filter, result filter, exception filter. Whatever filter you want, implement the appropriate interface. Remember, every filter implements an interface. I said you 5 interfaces to you. What are the 5? I authentication filter, I authorization filter, I action filter, I result filter, I exception filter. So 5 interfaces I listed you already. So whatever you wanted to implement, that one should be implemented here. All classes, all filters should inherit filter attribute, that is sure. Which interface to implement, that depends upon your requirement. What filter are you planning? I am planning a exception filter. Then implement the exception filter interface. That will give you a set of methods. You need to write the logic in that. Every interface provides you methods. You're required to write the logic in it. For example, just have a look here. In this project here, I'm adding one folder here. We'll name the folder as filters. Nothing like all filters in filters folder I want to put now. Okay. I'm going to define a class here. We'll call this as my filter. I'll call this as a my filter. Some name. The first thing you do is inherit from filter attribute class. Inherit from the filter attribute class. Error, nothing like maybe a namespace issue. That's all. System.web.mvc is not implemented. Okay, so this class becomes a filter now. The second thing you require to do is, what type of filter are you planning now? Are you planning for an action filter? If that is the case, implement iAction filter. Implement what? iAction filter. Now iAction filter gives you some methods to you. You're required to implement those methods now. How to? You remember now how to implement the methods of interface? If at all you want to implement the methods of an interface, what you do? Right click, quick actions and refactorings, implement interface. 2 methods are there. If you write any logic in the first method, that logic executes before the execution of an action method. If you write any logic in the second method, that logic executes after the execution of an action method. Do you remember? Before action, after action. What logic you want to execute before action should be here. What action should be executed after? Understood or not? That is what. So this is a action filter. No. I want a result filter. Okay then. What is the interface name? iResult filter. Right click, quick actions. Same story. Before the execution of a result, after the execution of the result. Okay now? iException filter. iException filter. Right click, quick actions here. We don't have anything like before execution of exception and after execution of when exception occurs. That's all. See the method? When this method will come? Whenever an exception occurs, this method will run now. Did you understand me? Same like that. I authorize filter. I authorize filter. Right click, quick actions and refactorings. Authorization filter, I think. Yes, it is authorization filter. Understand? What is that? On authorization. Whenever authorization is getting executed, this means actually in this, suppose in this method, if I implement some logic, like what logic? Logic to write the user details into a database. Who logged in? When did he log in? All this. See, generally in some applications you see, in banking applications you notice it. I remember SBI has this option. SBI has this particular option. You log in into SBI, sign out. Tomorrow you log in again. When you log in tomorrow, it will show you a message. Your last login is so and so date and time. Your last login has been done on so and so date and time. How does it know? It writes the information there. Whenever you try to come log in, whenever you try to log in, it writes the information. Sorry guys, I was disconnected. Yeah. Yeah, so you understood the process. So what type of filter you are planning to implement? Two steps here. First step, you must inherit from a predefined class called filter attribute. Every class inherited from a filter attribute is a filter. Second step, you must implement what? You must implement the appropriate interface. What type of filter you want, that interface has to be implemented. What interface? We have different interfaces, 5 interfaces here. What are the 5? I authorization filter, I authentication filter, I exception filter, I action filter, I result filter. And that filters will provide you appropriate methods and you should implement the methods. So adopting this process, I'm going to define you a filter now. What filter you know? The filter I am planning to create is authentication filter. The filter I am planning to define is authentication filter. We are going to define the authentication filter. So step 1, you need to define a class inheriting from filter attribute. Step 2, you need to implement the I authentication filter interface and it will give you a set of methods. Implement the methods. Once you do that, you're ready, you're done. Come on, let's do it. Okay, fine. Actually, 3 things I'm showing you right now, guys. 3 things in this example. First one, how to create our own custom filters. Okay. Just a second. Well, stop it. Okay. So 3 things what I'm going to show you now. The first one is how to create your own filter. How to create your own filter. Second one is in this process, we are just going to see an implementation for authentication filter because there are no authentication filters available. Third thing is I'm going to implement a filter, authentication filter, to implement forms authentication. To implement, yesterday what I shown you, Windows authentication, right? And today what I'm going to show you is forms authentication. What is that forms authentication? Forms authentication in the sense, here you don't have any built-in user accounts or anything. First it will give you a registration form. You need to register. Afterwards you'll get a login form. You need to log in. That's what you see in a Facebook. If you want to go for a Facebook, first thing is registration, afterwards login. So that is what we call as forms authentication. 99% of web application runs in forms authentication only. Only 1% there is a chance of using Windows authentication. Okay, not like 99%, 90% of the applications run like this. There are so many websites which runs in anonymous authentication. You take Naresheti site. Naresheti site runs in anonymous authentication only, na? So major is anonymous authentication only here. Major is anonymous. If authentication was available, if authentication is available, 99% it will be forms authentication. I am not telling all applications are forms authentication. What I am telling is maximum applications will run in anonymous. If application requires authentication, 99% that is forms authentication. And 1% there are chances to use Windows authentication and the open authentication. Even open authentication also you can be an anonymous only. Open authentication is also like forms only. There also you are required to provide your Google user ID password or Facebook user ID password and login. Okay, but maximum all applications will use forms authentication only if there is authentication available. So that only we are going to see now how to implement this. So understood the three things: how to create our own filters, custom filters. Second one, how to implement authentication. Third one, we are going to see forms authentication. We are going to look into the concept of the forms authentication. Okay, guys, remember a point. This diagram will tell you the execution flow of filters. First filter is, if the authentication filter satisfies, then you will go to, if authentication failed, why will you go to authorization? Are you clear? Authentication succeeded, then you don't have authorization, now you don't have permissions to stop there. Authorization is also succeeded, then goes to action filter, then goes to result filter. That is the flow diagram, explains the sequence of filter execution. Are you guys clearer or not? Luckily, we have an implementation for all these four filters. Luckily, we have an implementation for all the four filters. We have two filters implementing authorization, one or two implementing action filter, result filter, exception filter. But there is no authentication filter. That's what we are planning to do now. Okay. So before going forward, I just wanted to tell you this one. You already know this, but still, I will look. Read the first one. Already said you in the last class. Authentication filter runs before any other filter or action method. Already shown you in the first today, in the first page I shown you. Second one. Okay, now next, third one. Before, after, action method. Fourth one. Before and after, action result. Fifth one. If there is any exception to the filter or action method or action result, then only exception filters will come into action. Otherwise, they won't come into action. If any runs only if filters or action methods or action results, throw an exception. Nothing here, I just changed the sequence, that's all. I put filters in the first, that's all. Okay, nothing, no need of any changes. I put filters or action methods or action results, throw any error, then only these filters will be executing. Okay now? Fine. Okay. So now, to create a custom filter, we need to follow the below process. I already explained you. See that. To get a custom filter, we need to follow the below process. First step. Clearer? That is the first step. Second step. You can override any methods that are present in filter attribute class as per your requirement. It's optional here, not mandatory. If you want, you can do it. Understood? See, I implement exception class. I can override the message property. Mandatory, yeah? No, if I don't override, the error message comes on the parent class. If I override, my message comes. That's not mandatory. Third step is mandatory. What is the third step? Any of the 5 interfaces based on the type of filter we are implementing. For example, if you are implementing authentication filter, we should implement I authentication filter interface. And if you are implementing authorization filter, we should implement I authorization interface and so on. Is it clear? Last step. Array, every filter should be applied on a class. Array, every filter should be applied on a class. We need to apply this on the class now. Are you clearer or not? Every filter should be applied. So we just require to apply this now. See, without applying authorize on the action method or action or the controller, filter won't come into picture now. So if you define a filter, no use. That filter should be applied on the class, either on the class or either on the action method. We need to apply the filter. So these are the steps. Okay. So we'll try now how to define and how to create a filter. We'll try now how to define and how to create a filter now. Let's try this particular process, defining or creating our own filters. Let's try to understand about the process, guys. Okay now? Look, what is my plan is, who's this Redmi Note 9 Pro? Put your name there. Yeah. Stop the video. Okay. Fine. So the first thing what I'm just trying to do is, I'm going to create you an Asp.NET web application. An Asp.NET web application. Okay. So I'll create a new project, guys. Come on, let's create a project.
On happen.
Okay. Create a new project. MVC app with Forms Auth. Yesterday I created a MVC app with Windows Auth, right? Today I'm creating a MVC app with Forms Auth. Create. Let me say I've taken a blank project. Empty project. Just create a empty project. MVC. Create. Actually, I made a mistake here. I want to host it on IIS. I want to host it on IIS. If you want to host it on IIS, you should have opened in the administrator mode. Okay, let the project create. We'll close and reopen in the administrator mode. Project created. Stop it once. Yeah, run as administrator. Host it on IIS. So go to properties, web. Yeah, choose local IIS, create virtual directory, save. Done. Okay. So it just been created up things and all. Fine. What you do now is let's add a controller in the project. Let us add a controller in the project. I'm adding a controller with the name called as home controller. Home controller. Yeah, you have a home controller. What you'll do now is we have a default action method now. Let us go for adding a view for this. Add view. Just show some layout. I'm writing H1 style. For that home page. This is home page of the site. This is the home page of the site. I'm just going to show this. That's it. Okay. Okay, done. Guys, remember this point. What is that? Right now, what you have done is you just created a project. You just created a project here. And after creating a project, we just have a controller and we added this one. And right now, anyone can run this view. No restrictions now. Anyone can run this view. There is no authentication, there is no authorization, nothing was there here. So anyone can run this. Yeah. But my requirement is, I don't want this page to be opened directly. I don't want this page to be opened directly. I don't want a direct opening of the page. Directly you don't want? No, seriously, I don't want. Then what do you want? Array, when the user is trying to open this page, when the user is trying to open this particular page, I just wanted like a login page to come into action. The user should log in, and after the login action is completed, only the page should launch. Did you get my point? So before the page is getting open, before any page in the site is getting opened, I want to authenticate. I wanted to authenticate the user. So first login page has to come. After the user login is completed, then only it has to provide access to the pages. Okay, we can do that. But if you want to log in, you need a registration first. If you want to log in, what do you need first? Registration. Without a registration, who will log in? The first step is to register, correct? And afterwards log in. If you want to register and perform a login, then you're required to store the data in a database then. You need a database to store the data. So let us create a table in SQL Server to store user details. Let's create a table in SQL Server to store user details. So let us go to our MVCDB database. And in the MVCDB database, I will create a table called as users table. My next step is I'm creating a users table. User ID is a primary key column. Name, varchar. Next, password, varchar of 16. Email ID, varchar of 50. Mobile number, varchar of 10. Status, you know status, no? Not null. Default value, 1. Okay. Just which database? MVCDB database, execute. Done. Table is created. I created the table now. Okay now? Now, the next thing what you do is just go for configuring NT framework. Configure the NT framework. We're just going to perform the things by using the NT framework now. Okay. And what approach, you know? DB first. I'm using NT framework, and what I'm using is the DB first. And select the users table. You know this process. I don't require to give you any explanation for you about that. How to configure NT framework, how to select the table, you know all the process, right? Come on, let me do it. Right click on the models folder, add. edu.net, NT data model, some name, test EF designer from database, new connection, server, SQL authentication, SA, 123, save my password, the database name is MVCDB. Yeah, someone, MVCDB, click on the test connection once and click on the OK button. Yeah, someone just got messaged in the group, said this, yes, no buttons are not getting activated. If you are using Windows authentication, you won't get them. If you guys are using Windows authentication, this yes, no buttons will not be active state. Is that clear? Basically, this yes, no button is basically to store, shall I write the password also in the config file or not? For Windows authentication, password is not there now. For Windows authentication, you don't have password. That's why you won't get the yes, no buttons there. If this is disabled, remember you are using Windows authentication. Is that clear? So yes, click on the next. NT framework 6. Which table? Yes, now we created the table. What is the table? Users. Remember all of you, if you select a customer, what you get is customers. If select department, departments, employee, employees, users, you'll get user. You'll get user, it will just be in the reverse. User, that's already pluralized. So here the things will be user. So click on the finish button. Now it will define you the user model class. It will create you the model class with the name called as user. model class is created and see the model class name, user. User ID, name, password, email, mobile, status. Now, I need to create a registration page now. Correct? For registration page, when you are creating a registration view, you need a model binding. Registration view requires a model binding. So for model binding, I need one model class. I cannot use this class here. I cannot use this class there. Why I cannot use the class? Because for registration here, I have password, I have confirm password also. But here see, you have only password, there is no confirm password. So model binding cannot be done. Did you understand my point or not? The next thing you require to create is a login. For login also I cannot use this. Why? For login I need only user ID password, but it has all the name, email, everything is required here. What I require is only user ID, password. For registration, I need user ID, I need name, I need password, I need confirm password, I need email, I need mobile, I don't require status. Are you clear? While inserting, I need the user model. While inserting, I need the user model here. For querying, I need the user model. But come on, for creating the views, this model will not be sufficient for me. This model will not work for me for creating the views. Then what will you do, sir? What you do is, for creating the views, define your own model classes with the required attributes. I repeat, for creating the views, define your own model classes with the required. See, I want to create a register model class now. What it contains? User ID, name, password, confirm password, email, mobile. I'll exclude the status. Same way, login model. One thing called as login model. For login model, I'll have user ID, password. I will create my own classes here without using this class. Did you understand the problem? The problem is this class doesn't have confirm password. Then how can I take confirm password? Model binding requires confirm password to be present in that. So I can't use it. So that's why we are going to create our own model classes now. Okay. Come on. Open the Solution Explorer. Go to the models folder. Right click. Add a class. We'll name it as a register model. Yeah. Register model. Okay, register model. And the register model, observe it all of you. I want validations to be applied. So I'm importing annotations. You know that. Okay, for applying the validations. And now guys, here are all the attributes what I require. Have a look. These are all with validations. First one, user ID. Okay, now, and it is a required field. I'm using a regular expression. Should I accept only alphabets, numerics, uppercase, lowercase alphabets and numerics. Minimum 6 characters, maximum 20 characters. And error message, your ID is invalid. Same way, name. Name should accept only alphabets and numerics, guys. Name should accept only alphabets and numerics. But giving a name, you cannot give a big name like a minimum 3 characters, maximum 50 characters. Same way, password. Password, database password, it is also required field. Regular expression. See, what you should accept? A password validation now. What is it? Should start with uppercase. Understand this one. Should start with uppercase, followed by lowercase, numerics, and special characters. Minimum 8, maximum 16. 7, 15, 1 is here already. 1 plus 7, 8. 15 plus 1, 16. So minimum 8 characters, maximum 16 characters password. That's a regular expression. Confirm password. For confirm password, we don't require a regular expression. What we require is only compare with password. If you compare with password, that's enough, na? Next, email. Data type is email. And do you remember, for email, you don't require to write any validation. Input type is equals to email already has a built-in validation code. Next one, mobile. For mobile, I need a validation. What? Mobile number should start between 6 to 9 and maximum 10 digits. Are you clear? Yes or not? So this is the class what I will use for my view creation, for my view creation. But when I'm inserting again, I will come back and use this view only. Remember this model only. Understood? Because this is related to database. Then what is the use of this one, sir? This is for view. This is for view creation. But to perform the database operation, register model class won't be useful. Which class you should use? The user model class, not the register model class. Are you getting me? Okay. Say, same way for login, we need a class called login model now. For login, we need a class called login model. We need to create another class called as login model to design the login view. Right click and add a new class. We'll name it as login model. Login model. And here also, observe here, I'm importing the data annotations namespace, and I am going to write it. User ID. Display name should be user ID. Next, required attribute. Next, regular expression. Same way, password. Already I said you the attributes and the rules for the password. Okay. So what is the need of these two classes? These two classes are just for creating. These two classes are just for creating views. Okay. See, listen. Without using the existing model classes, if you define new model classes for creating the views, we call that as MVVM architecture. We call it as a MVVM architecture. Stands for model view model. It is a subset of MVC. It is a subset of MVC. I repeat again, without using the existing model classes. If you define your own model classes, for creating the views, we call that as a MVVM architecture. Stands for model view model. Am I clear? And it is a subset of MVC. Under MVC, MVVM comes. So MVVM is not separate. MVVM is a part of MVC architecture. We call that as a MVVM architecture. No need. But why will you take confirm password? Why will you take confirm password, man? You don't take now. Sai Kumar, we'll see that in MVC core. Encrypted passwords. The question is, how can I use encrypted password? Encrypted passwords and all I'll show you in a MVC core. Okay. I'm just making this example simple because in core, I'm going to show you a lot in that. Changing the passwords. Okay. Generally, do you notice that anytime you register in any website, you will be finding an option called confirm email. What is that confirm email? By mistake, when you registration, you entered a wrong email ID. Tomorrow, change password request will come to that email ID. That's it will ask you, confirm email first. If you could not confirm the email, you need to change the email. So for that reason, it will show you confirm email. I'll show you all the things in the MVC core. How to do a confirm email, how to change a password. Are you clear? All these things we'll see. So that's why this example, I'm just making it simple. I'll show you the process, but I'm not going deep into it. But I'll show you a lot of things when I go to MVC core. Okay, fine. 2-3 topics, 1 or 2 topics after this. 2 topics are there here. Once we complete that, we'll start with MVC core. MVC core, I need to explain you the architecture. and a few enhancements. Otherwise, rest of everything is MVC only. No need to learn about controller separately there. No need to learn about the view separately there. No need to learn about the model separately there. All are same. What it is, architecture is a little bit changed. And second thing is, enhancements came now. All those things we will learn. But I am not going to again tell you how to create a controller there, how to create a model there, or how to create a view there. Is my point clear? So we'll just learn that over there. Okay. No, you cannot. You can't do that, Devaraj. Fine. So these are the two models what I just been created, two model classes what I just been created here. What are the two model classes? One is a register model and one is a login model. See here I mentioned it, see. Now we need to design register and login forms which requires data validations. And to validate the data we need to use data annotations. For validations what we use guys? Data annotations. To do that, let's define two new classes. One is register model, login model. Apply data register model, login model, and apply data annotations on those classes so that we can use those classes for designing the views by performing model binding. And we call this as MVVM architecture, model view model architecture. Okay, now, fine. The two classes are ready now. Yeah, our two classes are ready. What two classes? Register model, login model. Can we now go for defining a class now, an account controller with a register method and login action method? Oh, time is done. We need a register action method and a login action method. Register should call the register view, login should call the login view. Okay. Yeah, time is done, guys. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow, guys.